Welcome to Common Sense. I'm your host, Laura Fong, and today we're studying Celprogen, a leading biotech company that's paving the way with its cancer stem cell research, as well as shipping high-quality stem cells around the world and making innovative devices. Plus, this growing company is helping others regrow their hair.
Celprogen is a biotech company that actually thrives on doing stem cell research and finding potential therapeutic agents, which is like potential medicines for treatment of cancer.
Jay Sharma is the founder and CEO of Celprogen, a biotech company in Torrance that's dedicated to providing high-quality stem cell technologies for regenerative medicine. They are now one of the world's leading companies in industry, and it all started back in 2002 when Sharma realized there was a need for stem cells.
Wanted to buy some stem cells to differentiate them into neuronal cells, and there wasn't anything out there. And that's when I started isolating the stem cells, and then I started putting together a program where we would be able to not only isolate the stem cells and then to culture them.
The company now has four main divisions: life science, therapeutic, devices, and cosmetic. In this part of our research, we're going to learn more about the life science side.
The life science division that actually makes the reagents, the cells, and so forth for utilization for screening drug compounds and so forth.
Celprogen is a global company that ships stem cells across the nation and all over the world, as far as Europe, Asia, and Australia. They have a vast inventory available, from bone marrow to cardiac stem cells, for scholars doing research or pharmaceutical companies. They've carved out a nice niche for themselves, as they're one of the only companies that actually carry cancer stem cells. So, what I know about stem cells are undifferentiated, so they're just kind of like a cell that has the potential to be other things, right?
Yeah, that's fairly accurate.
Well, how would you describe a stem cell? I mean, this is like the elementary school version of what I think a stem cell is.
So a stem cell is a pluripotent cell. Basically what it means that a stem cell, depending on where it's derived from, and then it will basically take over and differentiate into those lineages. So they are like, you have endoderm, ectoderm, and mesoderm.
So that means they either come from the outside area like the skin, or from the muscle layer where our organs are, or deep inside us like the lining of our stomachs.
Now if it's an embryonic stem cell, it would be able to differentiate into those three different gem layers.
Any three?
Any three. But if it is an adult stem cell, then it would, depending on if you took it from the skin, it will only be able to do the lineages based on the skin side.
To make stem cells, Celprogen first takes adult stem cells and isolates them. Then they need to characterize or analyze them before they can be expanded.
We want to characterize them first to see if it has all the unique features in it, and these are protein markers that we use to make sure that this actually has the right signature.
Once the stem cells have been characterized, they either need to be studied or stored. The vials are first stored in the -80 fridge, where they undergo a constant slow freeze at 1 degree a minute for 48 hours. Then they move over to the liquid nitrogen tanks, where the temperature drops to -194 degrees Celsius.
Each box actually holds about 100, and then so we've got about 10 boxes in here. So each canister, we have about 7 canister. So we have close to 7,000 in this canister itself.
With a massive inventory of stem cells and cancer stem cells, the next natural step is to study them.
What Padmini is doing is she's testing to see, this is ovarian cancer stem cells, and the ovarian cancer stem cells, so she's adding the known treatment of chemo drugs to this and see how effective it is, and then we'll compare it as with our own drugs that we synthesize.
Celprogen does its own stem cell research, but they also work with pharmaceutical companies to test their compound molecules that will hopefully one day treat certain cancers.
We do contract research work for pharmaceutical companies where we would utilize our cancer stem cells and stem cells for their drug development programs.
Linked closely to the life science is the therapy side and drug discovery part of Celprogen. Coming up, CEP1410, the drug that might help beat pancreatic cancer. Welcome back. Glad you didn't differentiate to another show. We're diving into our research on Celprogen, a global stem cell research and therapeutics company that's reaching new heights with its cancer stem cell studies.
We synthesize our own molecules and then we will generate our own molecules for treatment processes and so forth.
Celprogen is working on drug discovery to develop unique or novel molecules under its therapeutic side of the company that will hopefully one day work as inhibitors to help patients beat certain cancers.
I started looking at why people, terminally ill people, when they went into the hospital, they got the chemo, and then after the chemo, radiation, or vice versa, and they finally actually ended up dying. So I started collecting those cells and I started looking at the signature profile.
So malignant tumors are made of a small group of distinct cancer cells known as cancer stem cells. While they typically only make up 5 to 15% of cancer cells, they have a great potential to increase in number and they've been known to resist standard treatments. They're believed to play a role in tumors growing back.
Most of the drugs in the market is actually targeting the tumor cells that are already differentiated cancer stem cells.
That's where Celprogen comes in. They're studying and targeting cancer stem cells, and they're seeing success with the CEP1410 compound fighting pancreatic cancer.
We started with pancreatic cancer because it's one of the hard ones to deal with.
So why study the hard one? Why study one of the harder ones?
Because we want to look for treatments that are effective, and the treatments that are not there, it's no use doing treatments for cancer patients that have longer survival rates and stuff. So we're targeting patients that have a shorter survival rate.
To fight cancer stem cells, the molecules have to be highly specific. So Celprogen has to first characterize the stem cells, and to do that, they use a protein profile machine.
Here we can look at the view where the markers for the particular cancer cell type is very strong, and then we want to see how the drug has an effect on depleting that protein profile on that particular cell. So once we do a gene expression profile on the cancer stem cell, then we want to make sure that that gene is related to a protein. Then we utilize that protein as a marker, and then we use different drugs to see how that marker actually depletes and how we get rid of that cancer.
And Celprogen can monitor how the compounds are affecting the cancer stem cells either with a microscope, the old school way, by dyeing the nucleus and counting, or with a real-time imager.
We can look at the cells that are growing inside the incubator, and you can see the cells are actually taking up a dye while the cells are still growing in.
Yeah.
This actually shows that if the drug that we put in, how effective it is, the cells that are dead are shown as red.
Plus, the real-time image machine can be accessed remotely.
She doesn't even have to go in, pull out the cells out, and look at them on the microscope. She can just basically log into her station and look at the cells, and then, or if she's traveling, she can basically go online and pull up these images and see how the cells are doing. And then the other thing is this, that the data that you generate, it's more meaningful in the sense because it's a real time. It's not just one time point, So it actually continuously records it.
It's important that Celprogen produce meaningful data because this information and research is working towards hopefully saving lives one day. As for our research, it isn't over yet. Coming up, Celprogen's already helping people regrow their hair. What about printing an organ? This study is about to reach its conclusion. We're characterizing Celprogen, a leading biotech company that not only makes and studies stem cells, they also produce products for researchers and consumers.
We do the devices for basic science research.
Celprogen makes new and cost-effective devices for research using a 3D printer.
This is a pretty cool device that we have actually launched where we've actually built this insert this is a 3D culturing system where we actually grow the cells in a three-dimensional format, and then it allows the cells to represent, these cells actually represent very similar to the cells that you have inside the human body.
3D culture systems are an integral part of research because the environment so closely represents the conditions inside the human body.
To screen drugs that would be more meaningful, you know, in the translation from the bench to the clinical setting. And we also devise bioreactors, like small miniaturized bioreactors that you could grow these cells continuously on top of the microscope stage, and then so that way you don't have to go in and change media and so forth.
In addition to devices, they also provide basic tools for stem cell research, like these coated 96-well plates. What once took them a whole day to do, now they have a machine that can do it in minutes.
What he's doing is just coating the plate for growth of stem cells and cancer stem cells. So that's that red bottle that he has right there. It is the compound that is utilized to coat the plates. So he's just ready to set it up. And this is a fully automated system. So what it does, he loads the plates on one side, and we will go back on the other side where he'll show that the robotic arm pulls the plates from this stack and puts it onto the plate.
These plates will either be used for Celprogen's research to screen potential drug candidates or for proliferation, or they could be shipped out to other labs around the world. Another product Celprogen offers is FolliStem. This is part of its newest division, the cosmetic side. FolliStem reactivates dormant hair follicles to regrow some luscious locks.
This is a great product for that, and then it actually allows it to get back in its growth phase and be able to, you know, continue growing. Once you stop using this product, the hair that you've gained doesn't go back and you don't lose them again.
Celprogen launched FolliStem in 2015 and has international popularity. The hair growth product already has Arabic and Spanish translations, with German and Southeast Asian languages next.
Popular all over the world right now, but more so in the Middle East, that we have a lot of end users in the Middle East, and we have a lot of companies all over the world that are very excited about getting distribution.
Celprogen's not stopping at hair growth. They're working on scientific breakthroughs, like hopefully one day 3D printing a heart.
I think everyone is moving towards organ cultures because it actually provides a very unique model systems that everyone would want to get their hands on.
This is a passion project for Sharma, who's working with his tech team to build a 3D printer to ideally print organs.
We're building one so that way we know exactly what to modify, how to feed in the cells.
While the idea of printing organs may sound crazy to some, Sharma launched Celprogen with a one-of-a-kind idea to make stem cells when no one else was. And now Celprogen is one of the world's leading biotech companies. So what's Sharma's advice to any entrepreneurs out there?
Some of the entrepreneurs are born before their time. They should just stick with it, and then, you know, the people, once they catch up with the education bandwidth, and then things will be fine.
Special thanks to Celprogen for welcoming us into their office and lab. If you need stem cells, devices for research, or want to know more about FolliStem, head to celprogen.com or give them a call at 310-542-8822. And next time you're on Facebook, head to our Facebook page, Common Sense Torrance, and like us.
Thank you so much for watching Common Sense, where we offer you a rare, behind-the-scenes look at local businesses and explore the secrets to their success. Now, the research is far from over here at Celprogen, so I'm going to dive on in.